Previously on The Good and Forgiveness.
You're alive?
Yes, it's really me. Is it really you?
Tomorrow I'm off to Malcolm's castle with the other lords of Scotland. You're free to join us.
Welcome home. For now, at least, know that I'll be appreciating your company based on recent events casting this place quite solitary.
I have a simple favor to ask of you.
I will find a way to make it up to them.
Are we almost there?
Not far.
Son.
Prince.
Then why not king?
Kill them, my queen.
It's only tomato juice. I swear.
Looks more like wine to me.
What has he done to you?
It was just a vision. I'm fine. I swear.
As your host, it is my duty to protect you. I don't want him to hurt you anymore.
Look like the serpent, but be the innocent flower above it. Got it.
Macbeth's legacy was long gone, but she may be the one to bring it to the limelight.
We came across some witches. Dawn! We didn't mean to. We thought their power could reverse all the damage the tyrant had done.
And you trusted them?
And if I'm dead when tomorrow's gone, then who needs fake friends? Macbeth wins. He always did.
Are you alright?
Oh, all's fine. Don't worry about me. I'm not really supposed to be here.
Your head is bleeding.
I shall be fine.
Can you stand up?
Yes, it only hurts a little bit.
Is your leg okay?
It's been better, but
Could I take a look at it?
'tis but a scratch.
That's what they all say.
I didn't realize how bad it had gotten.
Come with me. I'll do what I can to fix you up. Hold still. Let me know if it hurts, alright?
Thank you. Again. I didn't realize how bad it was.
No problem. Your hair should cover the cut. Do you want me to brush your hair as well?
If it wouldn't trouble you, that is.
Alright. I'm just wondering, what happened back there?
I just sort of slipped on some wet grass. It's a very long story.
That's alright. The story is yours.
What were you doing to encounter me anyway?
I was sweeping the fallen cherry blossom aside until it began to rain. That was when I found you.
I'm glad you did.
If you don't mind me asking, what was it like to be a queen?
Stressful. You couldn't comprehend the burden. It's like a million scorpions crawling around in your mind.
With great authority comes great responsibility. It must have been nice having authority, though.
While it lasted. wish I could have done more.
If I were queen, I'd make society a better place for everyone.
Really? How so?
The same as you would have, by making it equal and less biased toward the privileged few. I'm glad I have someone who thinks like me.
Me too. I'm sorry I couldn't when I had the chance.
I'm sorry your reign had to end so soon.
I'm not at all afflicted by the reign itself. It wasn't meant to last forever. So many other kings give in to murder others just to keep their sovereignty. I don't follow.
Reminds me of... Oh, sorry! I probably shouldn't mention him around you.
The tyrant? Yeah, Mr. Macbeth was a naughty man.
I'm sorry for mentioning him.
And I'm sorry how he affected you.
It's alright, you weren't at all responsible.
Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
There isn't, but that's okay. There's only so much you can do. But in a way, you already have. Your kindness and fellowship towards us is enough. You are one of the sweetest people I've ever met.
You are. Wait, how did you know about my desires to change society? I don't think I ever mentioned it here.
Could I ask you something?
Yes, of course.
Have you been sleepwalking?
What?
The other week, I heard footsteps. They seemed distressed, so I went to check if all was well, and I realized it was you.
What are you talking about?
You probably don't remember it. Have you been feeling tired recently?
Exceptionally. It's not like I'm not sleeping, though.
Not quite, but your sleep must have been quite disturbed.
What happened? What was I doing?
I waited around your chamber to see if you'd eventually catch me, but when I came back in, you were gone. Before that, you seemed to pace back and forth up the chamber. You were muttering something. It was a bit scrambled, but I think I can interpret it correctly.
What did I say?
Are you sure you're ready to talk about this?
What did I say?
The murder of King Duncan. I know all that really happened.
No!
It's alright. You don't have to be afraid.
If you knew I was involved with scheming his death, then why didn't you say anything right away? I don't know how many other nights I've been like this or how many other people have heard what I said or done.
A couple of nights. Some more intense than others, but I didn't want to report it in order to protect you from punishment. I don't think anyone else heard.
'Tis the only cure for somnambulous guilt.
Somnambulous guilt? How do I make it stop before all else unveils?
Overcoming this guilt is the only way to make it stop.
Overcome it? I'm never going to overcome it. You don't have an elixir I can use?
If only medicine could cure you, I would have given it to you as soon as I knew. Therapy is what you seek.
About what happened? How much do you know?
From the desire to change society, to the witch's prophecies to every single murder and all who were involved.
And you've known about this for how long?
Since before the prince came here.
That was 2 weeks ago! How did you remain so sane with me? How have you trusted me all this time?
Because I know you've changed. You've proven you have.
Okay, just because I say I'm penitent doesn't prove anything.
You sent a message to Ireland to reunite us with the rest of Duncan's legacy. You seeked out across wastelands in an attempt to bring him back, or at least turn back time. If a shrew can be tamed, you can prove your loyalty to both him and Malcolm. You are worthy of my trust.
Worthy of your trust? Why don't you want to punish me?
Because you've suffered for far too long.
Now that I think about it, you have been there for me since I came here. Thank you for being so forgiving. I'm sorry I've been crying for so long for far too many times. My eyes will never be the same.
You have very beautiful eyes.
Even if you can trust and give me a second chance, There's no way anyone else would. Especially Malcolm.
The important thing isn't Malcolm forgiving you, it's about you forgiving yourself. That's how you overcome your guilt. That's the true goodness in forgiveness.
Let's be realistic, that's never going to happen. It's a never-ending multiplier effect of constant remorse. I do something bad. I later regret that. I try to make up for it. I end up doing something bad and later regretting it, and so on. Everyone else is yet to know that I was behind my lord's tyranny. If I keep lying about my past, then I'll never overcome this guilt. I thought instead of confessing to Malcolm, I could make it up to him instead. I now realize that there truly is nothing I can do. Forgiveness doesn't exist in this society. I'll still be punished whether I'm penitent or not. You saw how the previous Thane of Cawdor was executed for betraying us for Norway despite his remorse. Why wouldn't I be punished too? Then I'm afraid of death. I don't want to know if the afterlife holds more pain.
In the sleepwalk, didn't you mention rebirth? You survived for a reason.
Survival was my punishment. My life is hell. Constant stress and grief and guilt again and again and again.
Nothing is entirely melancholy, like nothing is entirely ecstasy. There will be good, but there will also be bad. Don't let the bad overshadow the good.
Do you want to know what really happened before I came back here?
If you wouldn't mind.
I said some things I didn't mean towards Don and Macduff. I've been trying to avoid conversation with them a lot. They think it's because I'm ungrateful. The truth is, though, I'm afraid. I feel unsafe, insecure. I didn't want anything to slip out accidentally, and I didn't want to stir up any conflict by accident. But lack of expression was the exact reason it happened. I've ruined all of my friendships, and I have a history of crime and treason.
History's in the past. That's why it's history.
And history doesn't ever change. I'm going to confess to Malcolm.
What?
About his father. I have to. There's no other way to overcome this guilt. Time is moving faster than I can think, and he needs to know eventually.
It's the moral thing to do, but I wouldn't want you getting into trouble.
I'll get into even more trouble if they find out elsewhere. And if I hide it any longer, I will eventually break. There's nothing else I can do. There is some valor left in me. I'll write to him now. No, I'll go to him.
And then what will you do?
The king will decide my fate, of course. I won't let myself become a fugitive.
You don't have to tell him it was you straight away. You could tell him the whole story, but leave out that it was you.
That's a brilliant idea. It gives me some extra time. Of course, I won't keep the truth from him forever.
Go easy on your leg. It'll feel better with less walking.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for understanding me when no one else could.
It's the least I can do.
I've become the very thing I hated most in the past. Cowardly.
You're not a coward. The world is just a scary place.
You came back here?
No! Make it stop! Ah! My lord. Ah! I didn't mean to return. I just got sidetracked.
It's alright. You can still come here.
You don't mind me being here?
Of course not.
Is Don by you?
He is around, yes.
I best leave before he sees me. I'm sorry I dragged you into this mess. Both of you. Every moment I've spent with you both has been a blessing, and I didn't mean to go against you both like that.
It's alright. You have to express your true feelings sometimes, even in anger. Where will you go?
Just forays. Walk about for a bit.
Quite far, isn't it?
Please don't tell anyone me and Don sought out the witches. I don't want Don to get into trouble, that's all.
It's alright. Your intentions were pure. Not all witches are evil.
Duff? Am I a fugitive?
Not exactly. I'd say you're more of a refugee.
Sure, down and out.
Asylum seeker?
Vagabond. Renegade.
Merciful heaven, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just
My lady, you're unwell.
stressed.
You need to take a break.
But that's all I've done thus far.
But you must rest until you are well.
Duff. When Macbeth did what he did to your family, and you sought revenge, why didn't you kill me? Why?
You have no children.
What's that got to do with anything? He still killed your wife. I exist. Why not come to me with a pitchfork and stab?
Because it wouldn't have been fair. I fight fire with water, not fire. So it was him I gave the edge of my sword. Even if you did have children, I would never take their lives in order to satisfy my own. Why would you ask such a question as this? Do you have a death wish?
No, I just can't help but feel bad. I'm sorry I asked. Thank you for not letting me die. I'm leaving for forays now.
But you're unwell.
But this is something I must do. I just need to speak with Malcolm quickly.
Please, I beseech you, stay.
Anyone who cares would let me go.
Well, if it will show how much I indeed do care, allow me to be your escort. Hitchhiking is dangerous.
You're right. Wait. I actually did have a child once. Her name was Elysia. She wasn't Macbeth's. Her father was my first husband preceding him. Had I ever loved him? No. Macbeth is the only man I've ever loved before he screwed us over. Alas, she was born in spring, but by the summertide, she had perished. It was an accident. I just couldn't stop the blood from pouring.
Seeing you cry is like an arrow to the heart. I'm sorry for making you upset. I'll bring you to Malcolm if it'll prove how dear I really do hold you. Just please eat something other than chocolate.
Be it in the midday sun, from whence the confession hath begun.
King must fall and conflicts conquer all.
Joy a prince can find once more, if he do what he is destined for. When the sky fall, not by night,
Shall come Malcolm's fright.
enough.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I know your pride is in malicious Macbeth, but I just don't like to play by the rules.
My lord.
What are you doing here?
She's with me.
This better be pretty freaking important, as me and Ross were trying to have a conversation regarding pensions, taxes, inheritance, and corporations. But that can wait. What's going on? My lord, we need to talk. May it please your sovereignty, it will be the final time. I'm listening. Wait, have you been crying? Your father's death. You think you know what happened, but you really don't. Everyone in the country knows the tyrant was behind everything. What else is there to know? There is more to it than that, my liege. More to it? More than a bloody sceptred dictator wanting nothing more than to kill for his own gain. There is more. The tyrant's depletion of courage, valor, loyalty, and human kindness wasn't at all a motive of his own, but by the terrible guidance of another.
Which other would that be?
Well, a slightly sociopathic superior had taken him by his stronger wing manipulating him into killing the king. This superior, however, did not intend for the following murders. It was only an attack on the position of main monarch.
Are you trying to defend the tyrant?
In no way am I trying to defend him. He was wrong to have conducted these murders and was just as foolish to go through with his superior's schemes.
And who was this superior? I refuse to believe there is anyone who could top Macbeth's malevolence.
Currently, aside from dark supernatural forces, there is no mortal in Scotland worse than Macbeth. However, in the past there was.
Supernatural forces aren't mortal.
Whatever. I'm willing to tell you, but pray you, be not so shocked upon the truth that awaits you.
You're lying. There is no one out there worse than Macbeth. Past, present, or future.
Macbeth was cruel, selfish, ignorant, heartless. Malcolm, I'm willing to tell you, wicked, immoral, foul, vile, corrupt. Malcolm? Callous, antagonistic, masochistic, salty, poisonous, shallow.
Malcolm?
Deceitful, murderous, sadistic, sinful. Ross? Evil, treacherous, traitor, bastard, toxic, careless, power-hungry. Malcolm, slow down. Intemperate, ill-willed, bitter, spiteful. Malcolm! Get off of me! Malcolm. You set this up to trap me. Look around you. I'm trapped too. If that was my intention, I wouldn't have trapped myself. I knew I could never trust you. Who is this who's worse than Macbeth? That's right, you! Malcolm, I was only trying to save you from the debris. I didn't know it would trap us. Liar and fiend! Malcolm, please, I don't want to hurt you. You don't. You truly don't. My attendant was right all along. Lucille knew we could trust you. You were innocent all along. Of course you're not a fiend. You're just misunderstood. I beseech you, forgive me that I misjudged you so. Malcolm, as much as I'd love us to live in eternal bliss and alliance, it just can't be so. What are you saying? My lord, you deserve to know the honest truth I could not equivocate. I'm not innocent. I was the superior. No, it can't be true. I'm sorry I lied to you about my past. I just thought I could make it up to you, but I couldn't. How did this happen? How did this all happen? Malcolm, we have more than enough time to kill in here. I'm willing to tell you everything, be it the final time I tell it. Tell it like a lullaby. I let despair converge to anger. I didn't want to be controlled and oppressed by patriarchs in society anymore. Why shouldn't I take action after the way I've been treated? I didn't want revenge. I just wanted a change, but I wasn't powerful enough to do that. After my first marriage, which ended in blood and tears, I soon remarried to Macbeth. He was eventually promoted to Thane of Cawdor, which I'm sure there's a ranking, and Cawdor was close to the crown, but I took advantage of this. If you, your brother, and your father were out the picture, he could be king, and I, queen. I could have had the power to change society. I realised he was on the more cowardly side, so I took advantage of that and psychologically forced him into killing your father, who was much too trusting of me, which gave us all the more advantage. Those groomsmen you saw, I framed them for it. There. That's it. Are you utterly crazy? Had you no remorse? I thought I didn't, but now I truly do. I had made the worst mistakes in the past, but I swear that I now stand before you a changed Thanes. I'm not expecting forgiveness. I only desire your worthy highness to know the truth. This murder isn't justifiable despite the things I've faced because of society. I was only joking when I called you a fiend. I know not how to live with this guilt. I can't stand lying to you any longer. Most of the lords hate me, and a lot of you have your suspicions. I just want to confess my penitence before anything else were to happen. All I really have left to say is, I'm sorry. I'll make you a deal. After the death of his family, I said to Macduff to let grief convert to anger. I'd gladly take my anger out on you. I have a right to, but I won't. I don't want to be alone in here. Let grief convert to hope. Just admit it, there's no hope in a place where you're always forgotten. I too see how being a reject in society can make you feel hatred. It's just that you, Macbeth, Banquo, you were popular. My father showed so much admiration for you three. I wish I could have made him proud in the way you all did. Macbeth didn't see it in that way at all. In fact, he was jealous of you for your promotion of Prince of Cumberland. He was? Of course you made your father proud. Like Fleance always made Banquo proud. Wasn't Fleance suspected for Banquo's death, so he fled to Wales? By himself? Isn't he like 10 or something? Not sure, although it was a smart move. Might as well join him. Why? Your country needs you. You said so yourself. Society's too messed up for its own good. But if you stay, you could work around it. You have the power to fix what's broken. Society can never be fixed. Everything is just a world of conflict and despair. It's not all negativity. Somewhere out there is hope and fellowship. Only lust can dry your eyes. Not if it's love. There's only betrayal, loyalty, treachery, devotion, lechery, virtue, equivocation, deception, honesty, gloom, pessimism, praise, a tyrant. King Malcolm, there is not enough gall in your heart to turn you into a tyrant. Please use this lack of bitterness wisely. Feels strange hearing that from you. I must ask though, how is it we ended up in this mess? Malcolm, you're looking at the reason we ended up in this mess. But you are the reason we got out of this mess. The thing is, I don't really know what happens now. I promise I'll replenish your throne and ceiling beams with the money I have, if you'll accept the offer. It doesn't matter anymore. We're not getting out of here. Why are we talking like there is any future? Don't be so sure of that. This place is like a cage! Punishment for all our sins! Everything will be fine. Have hope. For me, it's less likely, but for you, you have a whole country that cares about you. Look, there's no use in us fighting. You said so yourself you didn't wish to hurt me. You now know that you were wrong, and you saved me. You've proven your loyalty to the crown and the country. I couldn't live with the guilt of punishing someone who saved me. I'll make you a deal. Macbeth saved you too, though. In the Norwegian battle. If he hadn't have intercepted, I'm pretty sure you were close to, you know. That was before he screwed us over. Plus, it was Macduff that took on Macbeth, not me. Speaking of close to death situations, I'm still wondering about your alleged death. My death was a way to punish myself and shuffle off my mortal coil, the result of my guilt spurring me to insanity. I wish I could say it was an accident. And you survived? Yes. Almost like you were reborn? 9 lives, I guess. What's the deal, my lord? I'll make you a contract. If you serve me for the rest of your life, I'll protect you. We can start all over without you having to live with the guilt of treason and me living with the guilt of executing you due to your redemption, but without feeling like you're getting away with it. Guilt is our true enemy. We can cheat this regret, should what has been said in this debris be kept secret. Do you agree to this oath? I agree. So, we have a deal? We can be allies? An alliance we may. That is, if we ever get out of here. Let grief convert to hope. Miss me? Dawn!
I'm so sorry for the way I treated you.
I'm sorry for shutting you away like that.
What's the matter?
It's just... You look terrible!
Dawn, I always look as such.
Covered in dust and blood? I'm so sorry. Dawn, you're acting like this is your fault. Of course it isn't. But you both could have perished.
I did what I could to protect your brother. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Brother, I love you.
He loves you too. Always has.
Thank you for being the older sister I've never had.
It's an honor to be regarded as so. I'm not innocent. I was the superior.
What did you do that for?
I'm so sorry. I don't deserve you.
It's okay. If this is about what happened at the Heath, I forgive you. Sis, I forgive you. I forgive you.
No, you don't forgive me.
But I do. Honestly, am I the only one who isn't weeping right now? God, I love being emotionless.
I'm sorry. I needed that.
Come on. You're 18. Do you want to be a
I mean, everyone is capable of weeping. Sometimes it's a sign of strength being present for too long. It's okay to not be okay.
This is why you look after me.
And this is why we stick together.
Look, we can make our way out now.
So, what happened to the ceiling?
Donalbain? Since when did you get here? Are you alright?
Better. We have a new alliance.
We do?
Please, greet with us here at dawn. I have something I'd like to offer someone. Ross, send a message to the other earls.
I shall, my lord.
What's going on? Macduff, meet with me and Ross tonight. I have great news.
Great news?
For all of us. Let us get our wounds tended to. Tomorrow I host a grand meeting. I request your attendance, for without you there wouldn't be a meeting.
Without me? I will attend without failure, my lord.
In all earnestness, though, does anyone know what happened to the ceiling?
Let's go get some cookies. She had a dream to make society a kinder place. I think that's something we can all agree on, and with her company could most likely achieve.
So, what's the plan?
The Fainess of Cawdor I'll invite to join my court. She could live as a guest of mine if she wanted to.
As in, forever?
Well, as far as I've planned.
So, you're taking her away from me? She was the only one keeping me sane in Fife's dereliction. I get that your brother will be coming to reside back home with you. But her, as well? Please don't take her away.
You're acting as if she were a thing, not a person.
Says the one who wanted to send her into prostitution.
Order! She's my savior. I at least owe her some form of gratitude.
Please, me and Camille suffered until she came along. She was like sunrise on a winter's night. Don't take her away from us.
You sound like you're planning to make her your wife. I thought you said you'd never find anyone like...
I know I said I'd never find anyone like Cassiopeia, but the Thanos of Cawdor is like a sister to me.
You've only known her personally for about a week, and you're both feeling so close to her already?
She understands me, Ross.
Understands you? For all you know, she could be a murderer.
A murderer?
Ridiculous.
And what was this about this Macbeth superior we were never told about? And the reason for the ceiling suddenly collapsing?
We must leave this.
Isn't it likely she is the superior?
I refuse to believe this.
Have you been sniffing deadly nightshade? She saved my life.
And mine. She's innocent.
I'm just supposing.
Well, don't.
Haven't you not caught on to the signs?
Just because you don't trust her doesn't mean you have to be so prejudiced against her.
Prejudiced?
Enough!
My lord, do you know who the superior is?
Yes, she told me inside the debris.
And would you care to share?
By royal law, I will not share that.
Why not?
All the better to keep us all safe. Just note the superior is no longer out there and doesn't wish to harm us any longer. If I told you, would you ever forgive them?
Realistically, no.
I'd most likely forgive, but I'd probably never forget.
Why won't you tell us? Couldn't we at least know whose motive it was to kill our own king?
Your king was also my father. A king can easily be replaced. A father cannot.
Then are you planning to inform your brother, my lord?
I refuse to believe that it was her. I just won't.
Even if it was her, she doesn't want to hurt us any longer. Do you still want her in your castle? I promise she'll do you no harm in my court.
No. She's proven her kindness, whether it was her or not. I just want to know her for who she is in the present.
Though I don't see any good in her myself, I hate to see you two in such a conflict. If you both have an alliance with her, don't let her be the one to tear you two apart.
I won't.
Thank you, Ross, but it's not her that's tearing me and Malcolm apart. It's Malcolm tearing me apart from her.
Then I'll arrange a change of plans. I will not let you be separated from her. Meet me back at dawn. Particularly you, Ross. I have a small favour to ask. Thank you both for your company.
Thank you,
my lord.
But how could I ever bring myself to tell my brother the truth? I wouldn't want to ruin his friendship with her. I wouldn't want him to feel such betrayal. Banquo. I can't do this. I can't take it anymore.
Then quit your pacing. You're tiring yourself out even more.
The anticipation is hurting me.
Then rest for a second.
Do you even know why we're here?
For the 100th time, yes. But it's not anything you have the need to panic about.
And then why won't you say anything, for the love of Persephone?
Because you're going to find out anyway.
Can I at least have a small idea of what may be to come? Please?
Malcolm's just delivering a speech. There. Is that enough?
What kind of a speech? Can't hear anything.
That's because nothing started yet. We're here early.
Why did Malcolm want us to come early? Why us, out of everyone? What if I'm not even supposed to be here? No, of course I'm supposed to be here, because without me there wouldn't even be a meeting. Does that mean that everything rests on me?
Jens! Just be quiet for a second. I can't hear myself think. And now I feel bad.
Sorry.
Here, come sit for a second. You're gonna tire yourself out.
I'd rather be standing.
That's okay.
How long have we been waiting here?
About 5 minutes.
You counted?
Yes. It's what I do.
Is that why you were trying to think?
Maybe.
Wanna play solitaire?
Don't you just need one person to play solitaire? Hey! Where did you find that?
In the cabinet.
Well, put it back. Otherwise Malcolm will be mad if he finds out things have been moved.
Malcolm? Mad? What if that's the reason why I'm here?
Here we go again.
What if this changes everything? What if...
Everything will be okay. I promise.
Ross, can I hug you?
If this question isn't satire, then I guess. Okay. You must be drunk, or at least switched personalities with someone.
Switch personalities? I hope it wasn't with you.
It definitely wasn't with me. You're too affectionate.
You too, though. In a way. You appear cold-hearted on the outside, but inside you're actually really chivalrous.
I'm nice when I want to be.
Yeah, most of the time you were honestly like a wound in salt.
And you're like icy water mixed with treacle. In all honesty, though, I liked it better when you were passive-aggressive.
As in, yes, it's really me. Is it really you?
Yes, Jens. It's really me.
Jens? Is that because Fleance used to call me Jenny? I assume Gruoch in Gen was too intense for him.
Jens is more anticlimactic. One thing I'm still wondering, though. Why, out of all people, was it me that you seeked out first?
You're the closest connection to everyone I know. You're also brutally honest.
And that's a good thing, right?
Of course. Oh no.
Yes, we're ready.
Lady Gruoch, or Jenny. I'll admit, our family's past has been bitter, but based on my own gratitude and knowing you're no longer associated with the tyrant, I'm giving you the opportunity I wouldn't have given many. I'm giving you the choice to serve in my court. You had a dream to spark a change in society. We can establish it together. The choice is yours. I would have never expected such an honor. I choose to stay with you. Now, if only another will as well. Macduff, I'm inviting you to reside within this castle of mine. Your loyalty is like a blessing, and I wouldn't want you to miss out.
My lord, I am very much obliged.
Now, I would like to present another as well. Refuge across the sea couldn't have had knowledge of a change in plans. I realised my letters had never gotten through. With much assistance, I realised my mistake, and for that, I'd love everyone to give a warm welcome home to my brother Donalbain, who I hereby name the Prince of Cumberland. Thank you. Malcolm, may I deliver a quick speech? Sure, go ahead. Civilians, thanes, earls. I'm most likely remembered as the former Queen of Scotland, an unprepared, discordant mess. Following some misconceptions and a fated assassination, I have indeed stepped down from that position, and a much more suited leader has now been established. Everything from this past reign is in the past. There's no denying it isn't worth dwelling on anymore, but not without reflection. This whole conflict was rooted from jealousy. Us nobles shouldn't envy one another's promotions. We should be raising each other up instead of bringing each other down. At the end of the night, status doesn't define our worth. The way we execute our power does. You don't have to agree with me. Just note that it's not a competition to the top. We should be equal in our hopes and ambitions, no matter our status or anything else that makes us what we are. Whatever happened to our solidarity?
All hail the Thanes of Cawdor!
Wise words. If only Macbeth were here to hear them.
If only I'd said them at the right time. May I quickly request something? Anything. Those servants you threatened to punish, servants of Macbeth, Please don't harm them. Many were being held against their will. If I'm giving you a second chance, I'll be giving them all a second chance. Wow, Malcolm, we're a pretty forgiving duo. I'm delighted to say, welcome to our court. I'm much obliged, my lord. Welcome to our court, Lady Macbeth. Please, call me Gruoch. Gruoch of Scotland. Seyton, you're all right? Your leg was snapped in half, I swear. Forget that.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Camille, it was you that truly saved me. You were there for me at my weakest point. Camille, why are you leaving me?
I'm going with you.
I'll miss you too. Wait, you're coming too?
Of course. But before that, I have a few, errands to do. I'll see you later.
Till death do us part.
Greetings. I believe this is yours.
How do you still have this?
Until we knew you were safe, Camille insisted we held on.
Camille? She did that for me?
Let's say we put this daunting past aside us and start anew.
Any day, my lord. Fleance, right? I'm just picturing how you'd look in a crown. Notice anything different? You managed to get it off. I did. Did you manage to find enough ink?
I did, thanks. But while I was in your closet, I found this on the corridor on the floor near your chamber. It looks like a letter, and I was wondering if it had been misplaced. I haven't read it or anything.
This is an old letter. It was a message from Macbeth after the battle with Norway. I thought I'd gotten rid of this thing.
A letter from Macbeth, eh? Does it mention me anywhere?
Not that I know of. It was basically a summary of how the witches had prophesied his promotion in kingship. And that was from whence everything went wrong.
If he hadn't sent it, do you think things would be much different to how they are now?
They could have been.
Gruoch,
Yeah?
do you think I should inform my brother of everything you've told me?
You haven't told him yet? I thought you would have.
I fear that it may ruin your friendship with him. I don't know how well he'll take knowing it.
Worry not how it will affect me. As much as I value my friendship with him, it's better for you to tell him the truth. After all, he was his father too.
But I just can't cope with the thought of ending your friendship with him. You're like an older sister to me. If something were to tear you two apart, I don't know how I'd be able to bear it.
Malcolm, please don't feel like you need to choose.
But I will. And I choose your happiness. I want to protect your friendship. He's safer if he doesn't know. Both of you are. He knows there was someone who pressured Macbeth, just not who.
Had you told anyone else the truth?
I swore I wouldn't as a pledge for your safety. Some people were close to figuring it out, although I'd never confirm their assumption.
Malcolm, I can't do this anymore.
Do what?
Keep lying to the country. I feel like I'm taking advantage of you. Advantage of them. No matter what benevolence I do in the present, it still won't make up for what I did in the past. You're just protecting me because I'm nice to you.
Sometimes it's better to lie about your past in order to protect people from something that will destroy their happiness forever.
You say this like it's something you understand. Is it?
Well, that's the paradox in that statement. You'd rather be happy, right?
Right.
No matter how much we break the rules, promise me we'll never become like Macbeth.
Never. I had once said that it's safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. But maybe the opposite is true. They met me in the day of success.